Hey guys, welcome to the show, and this is Fix It Daniel. We are going to be back on the scooter today. Today we're going to do something really special. I've talked about it before in the other videos, and now it is time to get into it. So I'm going to show you guys what we're going to be doing and installing. Let's do this together. Let's get on it. So guys, welcome to the channel. So today we are going to be getting back on the scooter. And what are we going to be doing today? We're going to be doing the big bore kit. I've talked about it in my other videos and showed you guys the from Rolling Wrench, the 90mm big bore kit. We're getting into it today. We are going to be installing it. So let us get all into this, and I'm going to show you guys, if you guys have not seen the video, what we're going to be installing. So let me show you. Alright guys, so we are at the Fix-It table, where I'm going to show you guys again what we're going to be installing. If you guys have not seen the video, then we'll show you. So what we got here, I'm going to do this one-handed, so bear with me guys. Alright, so what we got here is straight from Rolling Wrench, and I've talked about the guy before. If you guys have not seen his video, please check him out. So what we got here is we got a 90mm big bore kit, whole new piston, whole new everything. We got all the stuff in there, got some rings and gaskets and stuff in there. Everything is good to go. So it's all drop in, and we got some other parts. We got some gaskets and everything. Got the little sleeve. So we'll put this back in here. Moving on to the next piece. And we got the top of the motor. This is where the cams go, and this goes right over top of the piston, which will basically go on top of this. So that's pretty good. I'm not gonna take that out, so you guys can already see that. We got the rockers. We got new rockers for the top, and the coolest thing is we got an upgraded cam. So this isn't just a regular old cam set, it is a cam. So we're going to be sticking this in, yep, this is it right here. We're going to be sticking this in the scooter. So this is all the parts right here. There's other videos that have the exact same set. There's no wrong or right, or there's no different way. Everybody's pretty much the same, just different videos. So I'm going to be the same person. So everybody's different. Everybody's doing, like, you know, 80mm or 70 or 8, and this is 90. Everybody's doing 100, 150, 120, whatever, so forth and so forth. Pretty much same setup, just bigger displacement. So we're going to be getting into this. We're going to disassemble it, and then we're going to show you guys, and then we're going to get all into it. So without further ado, let's get on it. Okay guys, so we are back. We are going ahead and get started taking this out. We are going to start with getting off this air intake here. So we'll just take this off, the throttle end, just get it off. Get it off and let it fall to the side, just like that. And then we'll get the other end off. All right. While we're doing that, we're also going to get this cable off. So we will take our cable and we will break it off like so. One here, one here. Do the rest by hand. Like so. Pull this out. And we're just going to lay it to the side. Just get it out of its way. Alright. Take some. Now we got all those. Now we're going to get some of these hoses off. So just get this out the way. Pull that out. And we can go ahead and take off the carburetor. Get that up, get the drain line. Get that up and out, put it to the side. And then we'll take this off. I'm using in case you guys want to know, I'm using a 3/8 10 on these. Just lift it up. And don't forget the O-ring. O-ring that goes for this, because we're going to reuse that later. Hold on to that. Take up the spacer. And then we're going to get this, here, show you. We're going to take off the spark plug coil, like so. And we're going to take this, we're going to take the spark plug off. Let me get my spark plug socket. All right, now we can take the spark plug out. I like taking the spark plug out because when you do your, well, obviously you're going to have to take it out anyway, but when you're doing your top dead center, it'll be easier to turn it because with the spark plug in, the compression will be kind of tight. So this will eliminate and make it easier for you to get top dead center. All right. Now we will go back a little smaller. Actually, let me get my magnet here. In this kind of stage, getting one of these is great because you can take all your parts off and they just stick right to them. Well, there you go, sticks right to them. At least the ones that are metal, but at least you don't lose your parts. Because you don't want to go start chasing these around. Alright, so now, oops, a little smaller. Alright, we're going to take our 5/16, start taking this cover off. now we got our cover off. Set it to the side. Alright. Now we need to get our little valve cover. Get this little plastic piece off. Using a 8mm ratchet wrench. Actually, use a Phillips head. To expose the sides here. See if we can get the shroud off. Okay guys, before we start taking off the tensioner, we are going to time this. We're going to get this at top dead center, then we can start taking off the tensioner, then we can start taking off everything else. So let's get it at top dead center before we go ahead and start doing everything. So, I think it's a 10. Okay, so right now we're at the T. We had to rotate it and turn to top dead center, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Alright, let's show you guys if I can, so there's better light, if there's good light. So, if you can see right here, I don't know if you can see it very well, but that's a T, and that's at top dead center. You just turn it until you get it to top dead center. When you're on top dead center, you're good to go. And one other way you could check it another way is when you did it to top dead center, you need it to be like this. So you need this hole at the top, and there's 2 holes here, and there's a hole here. You got to get that parallel to this deck here. When you get it parallel to this deck, when you see these 2 dots parallel to the deck and this dot and this hole up top, that's when you know you're at top dead center. And then you can verify it that you're at top dead center right there. Sorry, the light's kind of poor, but yeah, let's get it top dead center right there. It's top dead center. And that's top dead center. I know it's not a very good view, but yeah. So each dot on each side, parallel, we're at top dead center. Now we can take off this tensioner. Alright guys, now we're back. We're going to take the tensioner off. See? We're going to start with this big one, which takes a 3/8. So we're going to loosen the tensioner just a little bit. And then we're going to take the bolts off. One side. Other side. Do it by hand the rest of the way. Push it down. One bolt. And the tensioner is still kind of tight, so be careful it doesn't spring you up in the face. Hold it down and just pick it right up. So here's the tensioner. So it's got this little clip here on the side. So if you push that in, it clicks the spring in. But we'll fix that later, because what we'll have to do is we'll have to take this tensioner all the way out, so that way it's right, because right now there's still tension on it. So that's why it's pushing this down. Once we take this, there's a spring right in here. We take this off and we can push this in and it'll stay in place. So that way when we put it back into the scooter, it won't have tension. So we'll keep that for later. And I always like to put my bolts back into the pieces so we can set it to the side so we don't lose them. All right, and now you can see the spring is a little tension right now. So next, we're going to get this rocker off, so that way we can get this cam off. So let's see if it takes the same one. Let's see, you take a 10, all right, 38, 3/8. So back to the 3/8 10. Okay, go the other way. Nope, you got it right. You're just on there really good. Alright, we'll get these bolts off. Don't lose the washers. One there. So they got washers on them, so try to keep your parts intact. If you need to put them in a plastic bag, do so, which I would probably grab one myself, just so I don't lose them. Or a box, or a cup, or a plate, or something, so they don't go all over the place. Now we can pull the rocker up. Just gonna rock it back and forth. Make sure you're not losing anything. Make sure nothing flies off. Just ever so gently, slowly pull them up. Nice and easy. All right, it's out. Set it on the table. And now we commence on taking the cam out. So we're gonna take this cam off, like so. cams. Make sure we don't lose this chain. Here comes the cam. Cam's off. We don't want that to fall down in there. Take these guides out. Here, let me get my light. Okay guys, we're back. And I wanted to see, always put your stuff in the plastic bag so you don't lose them. And make sure you're wearing gloves. This stuff's pretty messy. So, now that we're done, you see these little slides? They have little pin slides in here holding this piece on. So make sure you remember where they go. You have one spacer here and one spacer here. So I know that they're diagonal across from each other, one on top, one on the bottom. So there's a nut. There's two nuts over here. Looks like they're the 5/16 size. So we're going to take those off. I have to shorten this one a little bit. Just like so. Try not to lose your bolts if we can help it. Just make sure you keep an eye on this chain, make sure you don't lose it. Alright, it's got a nice long bolt in there. Alright. Alright, I think we're ready to take this out. Oh wait, hold on, still got a long screw in there still. I think now it's out. Now they're out. Okay. Let's make sure there isn't any other screws. Nope, doesn't seem like it. Alright. Separate it ever so gently. Alright, it's coming apart slowly. Okay, it's coming out. Just gotta wiggle it a little bit. Ah, Okay, I just learned something. This exhaust is attached to it, so hence why it won't come off. So we gotta get up under here and take the exhaust bolts off, and actually probably take this whole entire exhaust off. So let us do that. I just realized that I didn't realize I had to take that off. So I'm learning just as much as you guys are. So I'm glad I realized it. So let's get this exhaust off. Okay, guys, we're back. We got the exhaust off. Now we should be able to pull this thing off with ease now. Oh yeah, there we go. All right, so we're gonna pull this out nice and gently. Nice and gently. All right, nice and easy. All right, and here we go, guys. Look at that, got it out. All right, so we're gonna set this to the side. And now you can see the piston. You see how black it's gotten too. So we're going to ever so gently pull these gaskets off. We actually can get the shroud thing out of the way now that the exhaust is off. It's got a little spacer right here in this corner, so we'll make sure we keep that. And then now, should be able to just slide this off with the piston. So, all right. Piston's out. Make sure we don't lose our chain. Here we go. Chain fell. Good. All right. All right. Guide piece stayed in there. All right. So we have another guide that needs to come out. Oh, there goes the gasket. So there we go. We got it. And we're good. And everything's out. There's the old one. Now we're going to install this new one. So here's a little baby piston. So yep, let us get ourselves all straight, and we will be right back. Okay, guys, we're back. So now we had to get all this extra gasket scraped off all the way around it, and we got it all off pretty good. So it's a nice smooth surface, ready for the next thing, which is to get this piston out. And you can see right there, there's a little pin. There's a little pin right, if I can get my finger, right there. We got to pull that out so we can get this piston off. The sleeve should come out, should be able to put the new one on, and then get that off there. So seeing how this area is really tight, I'm going to show you it right here, and then I'm going to pull it out, and then I'll show you it off, and then I'll just put it back on, put the new piston on, and then I'll show you how it looks like. So that's what we're going to do next. Okay, guys, so we're back. Got the piston out, and as you can see, there's the rod, and here's the little sleeve, and the piston's out. Man, you can see how tiny this thing is. I don't know if the camera does it justice, but this thing is tiny. Little baby piston. But it is all out, ready for a new one. So, without further ado, let's get this big boy in here. Okay, guys, so we are back. I just wanted to show you guys the comparisons of the two. So, as you see, this is my 50 millimeter, and here's my 90. I mean, you could tell the difference inside. I mean, look how massive this is. We're talking about big displacement from a 50cc to a 90. This is really huge, 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 huge. So this will go right in here, right in this spot right here, and oh man, it's gonna be really, really good. So I'm super excited to get this on. So what we have to do is we have to put the rings on. I thought the rings were already installed, which they aren't, which is okay. But yeah, we're going to put the rings on. So that's what those little pieces were. This is the rings. So let's get the rings on. So this one had 3. This one's got more than 3. So alright, it's pretty simple. So this ring here goes on the bottom. This zigzag ring. I'm following suit from the previous one just to see where it goes, because this one has more springs or more rings. So we will just size them. Okay, it looks like this one goes with this. We'll see what size these are. That fits in there pretty good. They give us extra rings actually. They give us 2 extra rings, which I did not realize, which is good. That's good. So that's good to know. So, like I said, I'm trying to follow suit. So it looks like, okay. So it looks like this ring, this, if I can get my hands on it, there's a black and black ring. Looks like it goes on this bottom set. So we will put that on there. Try not to break the ring. Hold on, let me get my gloves off because it's not working with my gloves on. Keeps getting pinched. All right, got that ring in, and then the last one is the top one. Boom. That looks to be about right. Big one on top, big thin one on top, little one in the middle. All right, we're good to go. Let's separate this so this fits flush in there. There we go. Boom. Rings are all in there. Now we just need to get this on the crank, and then we'll be good to go. So one other thing we're gonna do before we start, I forgot, is put a ring in. Because what we're gonna do is we're gonna put a ring in on one side, so that way when we slide this in on the new crank, it'll hit one side and put the spring on the other side, and then we're good. So this also comes with springs to hold the arm in place. They're in there pretty good. All right. So this is going to be fun. But you have to really get these rings in. Hold on, we'll get this ring in and then we'll come right back. Okay guys, with much force later, the spring is in on one side. As you see, it's not on this side, it's on that side. So what we're going to do is when we slide, so when the slide goes through into the middle, it'll stop on one side and then I can put the one on the other side. So that's what we're going to do. So now we're going to put this piston on the crank arm and then we'll come right back. Okay guys, with much force later, the spring is in on one side. As you see, it's not on this side, it's on that side. So what we're going to do is when we slide, so when the slide goes through into the middle, it'll stop on one side and then I can put the one on the other side. So that's what we're going to do. So now we're going to put this piston on the crank arm and then we'll come right back. Okay guys, we are looking good. We got the rings on right. I actually realized that it was in the wrong position with the rings, so I had to change them. So after I took a thorough look, the thicker ring, so basically this thicker ring goes under the ring that has the little slivers, the little slide up and down, the little angling up and down springs. So those go above. So I looked at it, they're a little thicker, and then the thinner ring goes on top. So we got it perfect. I realized that once I took one more gander at it, and now we are perfect. So now we have the thin ring on top, the thicker ring in the middle, and then the zigzaggy ring on the bottom. I think that's the oil ring, I believe. The zigzag ring, I think that's the oil ring, if I'm not mistaken. But everything is in. As you can see, the difference, I'm going to do it one more time. The difference in size, guys, look at that. It's crazy. But we are ready to go and get this thing all buttoned back up. So let's keep on going. So now we're going to start putting in the gaskets. We're going to use this black one to go on the bottom one here. Bear with me a sec. Gotta open this pack here. All right, so now we have this metal one that actually goes uh-oh. Hope I didn't mess it up. Oh, hold on, we'll be right back. Okay guys, we're back. I had the wrong gasket. So I look at the bottom. So this is the bottom and it has this paper gasket on the bottom. So I was doing the metal one and the metal one goes on top. So I was trying to put this one on, but this one goes on top. So we got it all in there. It's nice and sitting. Everything is good where it's supposed to be. And now we'll move to the next thing, which is putting this on. So here we go. Slide this back in. Get the chain. Come on, chain. Hang on, this chain is not wanting to cooperate. There we go. Come on. There we go. No. Alright, we'll be right back when we get this in here. Alright guys, we got the thing nice and flush, as you can see. Had a little issue. The chain, I thought it didn't fit for first, but the chain was hanging out on the bottom down here, and I didn't even realize it. So then when I pulled the chain out of the way, it just snapped right down. So there we are. It's all in there. Super excited about this. Okay. Well, now we move on to the next thing, which is to get this. I think we'll get this back in here. So, figure which way does it go? There we go. Get that in there. Set that on this truck. Now we move on to the next thing, which is this. Move on to the top part. And I'm sure that this is where this gasket comes into play. So now we're just gonna make sure we fit it up right, make sure we get the right one. Yeah, I think that's it right there, because it can't go this way because it's gonna run it over. And like that, yeah. All right, so we gotta do it like this. All right, so in we go. Oh, I put it on wrong anyway. I put it on the wrong way. Alright, come on. There we go. Perfect. Perfect. Alright. Now, we'll put the cover piece on. Looks like it should go pretty good. And actually, before I put it on, I think I can show you guys a little bit of a comparison. See how the ports are a little more bigger than these. These are baby tiny. These are a little bit bigger. So this should give us some bigger valves too and everything. So we should be good to go. Right now I'm putting the sleeves on, I just noticed. So good call on my account. And I didn't even notice something even cooler, that when you go to the bigger bore, you know how you have this thing for the EGR valve on the 50cc? Notice the difference. See, like, let me hold it up right. Notice it's not here on the 90mm, so it's completely gone. So this is pretty cool that this has already been closed off. So hopefully that'll work out in our behalf. So let us go ahead and finish this up by getting it on. And the things I was talking about was these sleeves, these tabs. These tabs have to go into the holes here on either end, and I have the two on the top right in the position where they were. So I almost missed it, but I got it. I caught it really quick when I was looking at it. Alright, let's get this chain. There we go. Boom. Making sure I got everything lined up right. Alright, looks good to me. Now, we'll put the bolts back in. And then put the other bolt. Alright. What's this one then? Yep. everything nice and bolted down. Should be good. Whew. All right, we are getting somewhere now. Okay, go ahead and tighten it down. Now let me get my swervy little one, swivel. Actually, hold on, we'll be right back. Hey guys, we're back. I had to change it up a little bit. We're gonna change it up to an 8mm, little bitty socket wrench set. 8mm works perfect. Fits right in there without me actually having to do a whole lot. Don't want to go too tight because these are aluminum, so I don't want to crack it and strip the heads. Just get it kind of firm, and I think we're good. Like that. Alright. She is in there. Alright. Now that we got it in there, now we can move on to this. Sorry, had a moment of pause there. So make sure we get it right. E for exhaust. You know, E for the. Don't worry about it, I guess. But as long as we got the E on the bottom, that's all that matters. And that is interesting. Interesting. It's a little tight. I wonder where that is. They're not much different. Hold on, if I put this back on, would that make it fit? Sure enough will. I gotcha. This little rod here is a little. There we go. Hold on. Okay, so if that fit on there, maybe that was the reason why it didn't fit. Huh. I think this needs to be reamed out a little bit more, But not a big deal because I don't know why it's not fitting. I think it just wasn't barreled out enough, or these are moving. So actually, I think that's what it is. You gotta move them into place or into position. But this one here on the top, huh? You're just not wanting to go in. Oh wait, there you go. There you go. There you go. It's a little tight. It doesn't like that sleeve. Yeah, it doesn't like that sleeve. Something in there doesn't like the sleeve, but it's okay because we'll just use the original one. The original one and that one ain't much difference. So, and it actually falls right in and it fits perfectly. Plus this one doesn't have the screw thing for that, so I would have to take it off. I don't know why it's missing one. Didn't ever notice that until I just opened it. So no big deal. It's the same, so I have two. So in case something goes wrong, I guess I can always just use this. But I'm gonna use the original one since it works perfectly on there. So yeah. But that's cool. That's cool that it fits. I'm glad I checked to make sure that fitment was perfect. All right. So now that the fitment is fine, now we're going to go to the last thing, which is the cam. So yeah, we're going to go to this cam here. I'm trying to see if there's any difference in lobage, but I don't think it is, but we're going to put a new one in here anyway. We're going to use the rope. We're going to use the rolling wrenches one. So let us get this cam. Come on. I got it. Yeah, I got it. Good. All right. Boom. And I got it on the marks where it'd be a top dead center. We are golden. We are golden, guys. And I'm going to put these screws, remember with the washers, so get those on there. Get them on there good. And the last one. Right here. Now, all we're going to do now is just tighten them up. And we will do that. I think it's with this one. Do this in a star pattern. Alright, let's change this up to a smaller one. Hold on one sec. Oops, wrong one, sorry. Alright, let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And just like that, guys, we are done. Now we will have to relash them, which is not going to be a problem. We'll have to get that relashed. No big deal. And this is top dead center anyway, so we'll be fine. So, yep, we are good. So now all we have to do is put the cover back on, get the manifold, everything all back together. We should be good. So let's get that going. Here's our manifold cover, which I'm actually going to take this piece off. So we're going to take this piece off since we don't need it. We don't need it anymore. Maybe eventually one day I'll get a new cover, and then I won't have to worry about this bottom part. But we'll just leave it on. Yeah, we'll take it off. Yeah, we'll leave it on. Yeah, we'll take it off. It's no big deal. Yep, that looks just like that. So, cover goes on there. Actually, do we need to probably relax that? Actually, you know what? Let me rotate it just to see. Make sure everything turns. Okay. Glad I checked that. Alright, hold on. We're at top dead center, but we're not. Okay. Hold on. We gotta lash this first. Might be a good idea to do so, because it's not hitting the cams. I'm glad I checked that. That's interesting. Maybe that's the reason why we had to go to that. Hold on, guys. We'll be right back. All right, guys. So we're back. We got everything on the motor done. We got the top part back. The only thing we got to do now is we got to lash it, and then we got to put the cover on, put the carburetor and everything, and we're good to go. So it's getting a little late, so I have to go pick up my son and everything. So it is getting a little late in the day. So we will come back, and we'll come back the next day, and we will get this all buttoned back up. We'll get it all lashed and timed and everything. Actually, the timing is right. We just need to get it lashed on the intake and then exhaust, and then put the cover back on and everything. So we will come back tomorrow, and we will get this done. What's up, guys? Well, it's the next day. We're going to get back on this bad boy. We're almost done. As you saw on the day before, we got the half of the motor already up on there. We got everything on nice and bolted down. All we got to do now is we just got to finish putting the tensioner on there, doing valve lashing, putting the valve cover on it, putting the intake, carburetor, and the air inlet, and then we are pretty much good, almost ready to start this thing and check it out and see what the difference will be. So let us finish up so we can get this thing started. All right, guys, so let's get back over here. I'm gonna show you what we got so far. Get some light over here. All right, so this is what we got so far. Let me take the valve cover off. So we got a 90mm big bore kit on. We got the housing for the piston. We got the top part. We got the roller rockers. We got a new cam in there, new roller rockers, different from the originals, because this whole entire top half is now a 90mm. There's no more 50cc. It's now 90mm. So everything is all new and up to date. So the only thing that isn't new and up to date from the here and top up is this chain and the guides. Those are the only three things that is not new. Everything else is all new. So we're going to go ahead and finish this off. We're going to get this tensioner on so this chain won't be so loose, because it's kind of loose. We'll get the tensioner on so that way this will be tightened down, and then we'll move on to doing the valve lashing. Then we'll put the manifold with the carburetor back on, and then the pipe for the air, and then we should be good. Put the gas line back on and everything. Now the exhaust is off. I have a new one coming. Should be here soon. Should be here in a few days. So I think we'll start it without the mufflers on or with the mufflers on. I don't know. It's definitely going to be loud because it's going to be shooting out the bottom on the other side. So because I want to complete the tune, because when we tune this, and basically tuning is the the air and fuel mixture on the carburetor. This whole set will be different. So it'll be big bore kit. Then we got the carburetor. Then we got the massive air coming through, and then we have a new exhaust. So that's going to play all the roles, because this is going to be very restrictive if I put it back on. So if I tune it with this muffler on, it's going to be a different tune from when I have the free-flowing exhaust. So I don't know if I'm going to just tune it with it off, or just get it started, and then we'll come back later. And we're also, in another video, we'll be doing the transmission. That actually will be here today. The transmission for this, the whole gearings and everything will be here today. So we will do that in another video along with the exhaust, and maybe we'll wait and tune it properly then. Maybe we'll just get it in and just try to get it turned over just to hear how it sounds and runs. So we'll see how that goes. But let's go ahead and get on with this tensioner. Okay, guys, so we're going to put this tensioner back on, get this all nice and good. So we're going to, this thing has like little teeth. This little pin here holds it back like so. See? But the only reason why it's not staying is because of this tensioner here. So we're going to take this off nice and easy. Don't want to lose the spring. Just like that. Set this off to the side. And then now, when we close these teeth, we should be able to, yep, now we can slide in and it'll stay. So we will get this, make sure we get it in the right way. All right, get these nice and singed down. Change out our tool here. I'm really super excited to see this thing going. Hopefully we can get some serious power out of it from the 50cc. See the difference between it. Maybe we're gonna get a little bit more speed and better performance out of it as well. All right, so then I got those singed down. We will take our spring and nut, and when we put it back in there, it's gonna push it down. Yep, just heard me. And we'll push it down and get it started. We'll switch to the other one. Oh yeah, chain is nice and tight, ain't going nowhere now. All right, so we got that done, that's on there. So now we're gonna do our valve lashings. So the top ones are, I wanna say 0.004, and then the bottoms, the exhaust is 0.005. So get you down so you can see. So top, it'll be the 0.034, exhaust 0.05. So we would take our, I don't know if you could see that, probably not with that light, but this is a 0.04. Stick that in the top. Actually, that's got some pretty good play. It's actually something that's perfect, because you want just a little resistance, but not too much. But you also don't want it to, yeah, that's perfect. Oh yeah, that's perfect right there. Not too much. It goes in nice and smooth. It's got a little resistance. So that was perfect for first time. Cool. That makes that easy. All right. So now we're going to go to the bottom one, which is going to be a 0.005. 0.005. Here it is. This one's a little trickier because you have to get up under it. So I forgive for not being able to see it. That one's got a little bit of resistance, but we're gonna see if we can get better resistance. That's pretty good. That's not too bad. It's got a little bit of run through. I could make it a little tighter. Actually, let's make it a little tighter. Let's do it right. Let's loosen this nut. Get it under there. Turn it. That's a little too tight. Back off a few hairs. It's pretty good. A little bit more just to give it a little bit. There we go. That's what you want. That's what you want. Ooh. So I need to turn it up just turn it back just a little bit. Because I tighten it and it locks it up more than I want it to. Hence why I don't have, hence why I need a tool. to do it so it doesn't turn on me. That's pretty good. It's got a little resistance to it. That's perfect. Actually, that's perfect. It's got a nice little resistance to it, but it still goes through. Alright, so now that we got this on, what we do now, we're going to move on and put the valve cover back on. And we'll get this all nice and bolted up. So we will take our bolts. Take all the bolts. Oops, everything's magnetized. Take our bolts here. Get these all back nice and bolted up. We take our wrench here. Get these things kind of started. There. Should I get the longer one? And we'll just singe them down a little bit. Not too tight, just enough to seal. Like so. Good. Good. All right, we're good to go. And then we're gonna put our spark plug back. We'll probably get a brand new one, but right now we'll just really use the original one just to get it started. But we'll replace it with a brand new one when we do our final tune. Let's see if I can find where the hole is. Oh, there it is. So for right now, we'll just put the original one back in there. But yeah, we'll just put the original one back in there. All right, she is in. Give her a good tighten. All right, spark plug is in. Put that on so we don't forget it. And now we're gonna put the manifold back on. So. Okay. All right, let me get the bolts and we'll be right back. Okay, guys, so we're back. I ran into a thing that I just missed, but I caught it. So here's the issue. So I was trying to put my manifold on, and then I was looking for screws to put it in. I was like, wait a minute, these don't take screws. These have nuts on the end with a little with the stud. So I was like, I looked on the intake side. I was like, where are the studs at? So I just realized that, and maybe something that I don't think any of them ever mentioned it on YouTube. So this is probably a first. So if you get a big bore kit from anybody, and this is where the manifold is, and you don't see studs, you have to take the studs off your 50cc. So this didn't have any studs, and I didn't think about it until I put the manifold on, and I thought like, oh, these take, you know, the screws like these, or screws like these. But then I realized, wait a minute, these take studs. So the studs were not on here. So you have to put the studs on the intake side and the exhaust side. So this is the intake side, and all they do, you just take some channel locks and just twist them off, okay? And then you take them off, and you just put them right back in here, okay? And you can just twist them back down, and then use the same channel locks to get them kind of seated a little bit. Most of the time, they usually go in right away, but if you want to make sure they're nice and tight, because these were a little bit on there. The exhausts were not. So they were like, I took a couple turns with the channel lock and they came off. So and I could just twist them off by hand. But these, I actually had to keep twisting them right here with the channel locks to get them all the way off. But yeah, just rule of thumb, make sure you take the studs off when you're installing it, because the exhaust side's a pain in the butt. I figured out a way of doing it, but the exhaust is a pain in the butt, and the only way I could get the exhaust to work was basically, I just give you a kind of idea. I don't know if these will fit. Yeah, these will fit. So the exhaust side is a little more shorter, and they're the same kind of length. So what you can do is you get them started, get them on there, and if you can't get your hand through, you can do a DIY way that I just realized. Basically, you just take the nut, and then you would just twist it. Use a ratchet list. This is what I did. And then as you get these tight, this will stop turning, and then it'll start. Well, you get the idea. Basically, it'll stop turning, and it'll actually start turning the stud, and then it'll start threading it in. So if you can't get your hand on the exhaust side, you could do this kind of method. Just get the nut this is the actual nut for the exhaust. You would just put that on there and turn it until it hits the stop part, and then it'll start turning the actual thread through. So it'll turn the stud, make it go in. So that's what I did, because I didn't have a tool, and it was really kind of small getting it in there. But now we got them on there. So now we are good to start adding our pieces back. So we're going to go ahead and add this spacer piece. And then, actually, hold on a sec. Kind of curious about that, actually. Let's turn it this way. Maybe it'll get over the hole. Oh, that's perfect. That's over the hole. I mean, we could dremel this out big enough to fix the hole, because this hole's massive, and that hole's not massive, but you know, you notice the difference. Let me see if I can. You notice the difference when you lay it over. It's not the same type of the size of the hole. So, and neither is this. So that could be an issue as well. But this one's gas gun. I could easily just slide it over there without that spacer. But that's actually gives it a good seal. So we may dremel that out a little bigger. That actually might be not a bad idea, to get it the same size as even the hole. Even this hole on the thing is bigger. No, it's not that bad. No, it's not that bad. I thought it was, but I mean, it could be walled out a little bigger if I wanted it to, just to give it some more space. But it's not terrible. It's like maybe a less than an inch of a gap over layover. So yeah, that's not too bad. I don't know, maybe we should make that a little bigger to fit the because when you see it laying over, you can kind of see the impression. You can see the impression of the where this is laying over. You can see the impression. It's quite large. So I'm not for sure if we're gonna make that hole a little bigger. That might be something to think about, because I could swallow up the, because this is where the intake, this is where I don't have to think about that, because this is where the air and fuel are coming in, and if this is restrictive, you're not going to get your full performance. That's something to think about. I didn't think about that. This hole is tiny. This hole is massive. So you're going from a massive hole to a tiny hole. I mean, this hole is pretty big, but even still, you could see where the ring, you can see the curvature of the ring. You can see the little outline, how big that is. I mean, all you need is the size of this hole, the inner hole, where the inner side of the gasket. And that is interesting. I think I might have to do some research. Let me go look this up, and I'll be right back. Okay, guys, so we're back. I wallowed this out a little bit, and so now I shaved it out a little bit. Ended up breaking a little clip on the end, but it's okay. So I wallowed this out a little bit bigger so it fits the hole a little more nicer. So we're just gonna roll with what we got. It's not that bad. It's actually pretty good. Maybe later we'll go get something a little bigger, but it's not that much. I mean, even if I went even bigger than this hole, it still wouldn't. This is still going to be massive. So we're just going to roll with what we got. So we're going to go ahead and put this manifold on. Make sure we get nice and bolted on. Actually, you know what? I just thought of something. Hold up. Okay, guys. So now that we got this, we're going to put the manifold on. Try to get this buttoned up. All right. Now we're going to put back on the carburetor. Sorry about that, camera stopped. All right. Get this bolted back on. Oh, forgot the ring. Just tighten back up. All right, put the air back on. Like so. Alright, got that tightened back down. And then we'll put the we're leaving the settings where they're at from the original one, and then we'll make adjustments as we go. So I'm going to keep it where I had it before I did the big bore kit, and then we can make adjustments. So that way we don't lose our spot of where we had it. Hopefully this will work. Put our little caps back on. Gear nice and tight. All right. Guess we'll put the air hose back on. Leave that hanging there. Leave that hanging there. And then only thing left is put the fuel line on, and I think we're ready to turn this thing over. So let us get this all cleaned up, and then we'll go ahead and turn it over, see if it works. Okay guys, so we are about to get this thing started. Let's see if we got the fuel. The fuel is flowing. Everything is in there. I'm gonna pull the choke, and let's give this thing a rip, see what happens. 1, 2, 3. All right, 1, 2, 3. Woo, okay. Well, it runs. We have to probably put the muffler on. That thing is loud as I don't know what. I thought maybe not having it on would be alright, but we're gonna have to put the exhaust on. So hold on a second. Let's put the exhaust back on, and then we'll start it back up. Okay guys, we got the exhaust back on. Let's try it one more time. 1, 2, 3. Running and smoking at the same time. I don't know why she's smoking. That's weird. Oh, it's running though. Smoking, but running. don't know why it's smoking. I honestly don't know why it's smoking. Nothing looks bad. It's weird. Maybe did I run out of oil? Because that'd be the reason why I would be smoking. Oh, you know what? I think I did lose a little bit of oil when I was taking it apart. I think I did lose a little bit of oil. Ah, that's probably why it's smoking. That could be the reason why it's smoking. Okay, well, we got it running. I think I maybe need to wait for it to cool down and check the oil level, and then we'll determine if I need to add more oil or why is it smoking. All right, so stay tuned, guys. Okay, guys, so we're back. I tried taking it. I didn't take it for a spin, but I'm trying to get it to break through. I did some kind of research on people having some issues with it smoking as soon as they put the big bore in, and not really much of a difference. Most of the time, it's like excessive oil. Maybe there's oil leaking. I don't have any oil leaking. At least I don't think I do. I have to check that and see. But it runs good. Tuning seems a lot better, and the pickup, the throttling is no bog. I wonder if it might be running a little bit lean with the bigger pistons. So I may have to do some more tuning, but I think we're gonna go ahead and wait for the exhaust to come in, because then we could kind of do a full tune on this bike. To get a, because we'll have all the aspects in there. Maybe I was thinking maybe the reason why I was smoking because I didn't put any oil. Because sometimes when you have like when you do a new car and you're doing pistons, you're doing rings, sometimes you want to put a little oil on it. I don't know if it's because of that. I don't know because it has a little bit of what is it called? Transporting oil on the, like a little bit of a film. I don't know if it'll die off, because it wasn't smoking before until I did that. So I did the big bore. So I did everything right. I put everything back together. I can't think what else could cause it to smoke. So it could be a leak. Maybe it's leaking oil somewhere. I have perfect oil level. I thought maybe I didn't have enough oil, because sometimes when you're burning oil, you may be running low, but it's perfect. It's level. So I don't know what it could be. I know I wanted to get a new spark plug. They're not that expensive, like $3 for a spark plug. So I may get a new spark plug and retune this again to make sure that I know where I'm at. Because right now that spark plug's really black from it being rich when I had the other carburetor on there. I might need to go bigger jets, bigger main jet. Who knows? I might need to just go bigger. So, and I may need to change my little throttle needle to more richer, because right now it's in the middle. I put it back to stock. So maybe I need to go richer. And if that's the case, then I'll go richer and try that and see if that's working. Because it doesn't smell like gas. It smells kind of more, it doesn't smell gassy in the exhaust. White smoke coming out. It doesn't smell like it's overly gassy. So I could be running lean. I don't know. So, and also with the being broken in, it's brand spanking new. It could be a lot of things. So we are going to dig into this a little bit more, but we're going to go ahead and pause. We're not going to go any further. I think I've gone as far as I can go right now. I want to wait for the exhaust to come in. The exhaust will be here on Monday. So yeah, we'll just wait on that. We'll wait, get the exhaust on, do some more looking over, making sure everything looks good. Maybe even take the valves off, make sure they're lashed properly. And just make sure everything looks pretty good. And then we'll go from there. We'll restart it up again. Maybe we'll go bigger jet and see if that'll help on the main and the pilot. Maybe it just needs more fuel to go in there. But it starts up good, no problem. Maybe you just have to get a little bit of adjustment with the idling. But guys, that's pretty much it. I know it's been a long endure on getting this going, and I'm super excited. We just got to do some tuning, which I knew it was coming, because everybody said you get a big bore kit, you need to get everything. If I got a big bore kit, I got exhaust coming, I already got a bigger carburetor, I got manifold, everything. So that's got to be all dialed in together to make this work. so I can't go back using stock. Because if I use the stock exhaust with what I'm doing right now, sure, I could probably use it and tune it that way, but then when I get the better exhaust, it's going to be a different tune because it's a lot more free-flowing, it's a lot more better exhaust exiting. Right now, the exhaust on there is very restrictive. So that could be also a thing as well. So we're going to wait. We're not going to rush this. We're going to take our time. I want to get this right so we can really ride this thing. And hopefully we can get that smoke to go away. So guys, that's it. Thank you very much. I really do appreciate all the love and support that you guys have given me, and the comments and the likes and everything. I really do appreciate this. This is something really cool that I love doing and showing you guys. This is new for me as well, so I'm learning because as I've been doing this, I want to get me one, but not one of these. Not one of these. I want to get a Ruckus. I want to get a Honda Ruckus. I really like these things, and the way gas is going, this would be a fun, cheap bike to have instead of driving my car. You know, with gas so crazy right now, having one of these little scooters would be a way of means of transportation, especially if I didn't have the family to drive around. If it's just me, I could ride that and, you know, ride that around like a motorcycle like I used to have. So, but guys, thank you so much. Thanks for all the love and support. If you guys have not seen my stuff, go down and check it out. And you can follow me on Instagram at FixItDaniel. I'm gonna put a link. I'm gonna put my little IM right there, and you guys can follow it. Thank you very much, and check some of my other videos out. Like and subscribe. Even comment. Let me know what you think. There's something that I'm doing wrong that you guys noticed, or if you experienced on your scooter, and something that you could help me out with. Please put a comment down there. I always greatly appreciate that. And if you don't put a comment down here, you can go to my Instagram and do a comment. Okay? But guys, thank you so much. I'm going to go and try to figure this out, do some more research, and we will be back getting this thing running. So until then, I'll see you on the next fix. Peace.